November 22nd, 1963. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy has led to more questions than answers over the years. Was Lee Harvey Oswald the lone gunman? Was there a conspiracy? And if so, who was involved? Present on that fateful day in Dallas were several mysterious figures. Who were they? And why were they in Dealey Plaza? It was a balmy 68 degrees Fahrenheit under sunny skies in Dallas on the day of the assassination. Yet here, among the many witnesses, is a man holding an open umbrella. Is he planning on using it as a weapon? A signal? Or does he think it's going to rain? For the previous decade, the CIA had operated a top-secret project called MK Naomi, where they developed poisons, biochemical weapons, and devices such as dart guns. The project ended in 1970, when Richard Nixon told the CIA to knock it off. Was this umbrella some kind of weapon? Possibly, said Charles Sensony. Described by the New York Times as a developer of weapons such as an electric poison dart gun, he told the Senate Select Committee on Assassinations that yes, it was possible in 1963 to fire a projectile from either a walking cane or an umbrella. A former US Navy lieutenant called Robert Cutler theorized that a man shot a dart into Kennedy's throat using his umbrella as a firing mechanism. He even drafted an illustration outlining where the principal players in the assassination were thought to be located. Could Cutler be right? Was the mysterious figure using an umbrella gun, or using it to signal fellow conspirators? Neither, said Louis Stephen Witt. In 1978, he agreed to testify before the House Select Committee on Assassinations, and said that he was the Umbrella Man. His explanation, however, led to further questions. He told the bemused audience that the umbrella was used in protest against JFK's father, Joseph P. Kennedy, who had supported British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain's push to appease Hitler during the late 1930s. Chamberlain, you see, would often carry an umbrella. Asked if he had anything else to add, Witt told the House Select Committee, "If the Guinness Book of World Records had a category for people doing the wrong thing at the wrong time, in the wrong place, I would be number one in that position, with not even a close runner-up." An unidentified woman wearing a headscarf and holding a camera is seen by witnesses. Standing amongst onlookers in front of the Dallas County building, she continues to film even after the shooting had taken place. She eventually crosses Elm Street and joins the crowd heading towards the grassy knoll. Neither she nor the film she may have taken have been positively identified. Like the Umbrella Man, someone later came forward to set the record straight. In 1970, a woman named Beverly Oliver said that she was the Babushka Lady. She filmed the assassination with a Super 8 camera and handed over the undeveloped film to two men that identified themselves as FBI agents. They told her she would get it back within 10 days. To the surprise of no one, the film was never returned. Well, this sounds fishy. When confronted with the fact that this particular Super 8 camera wasn't made until 1969, she stated she received an experimental camera from a friend. If you zoom in on this photograph taken by Mary Ann Mormon, you might see this figure, the mysterious so-called Badge Man. An image purportedly of a sniper behind the grassy knoll with what looks like a muzzle flash obscuring much of the detail. The figure has been described as a person wearing a police uniform, with a bright spot on his chest, supposedly his badge. The Mormon photograph was taken a fraction of a second after the fatal bullet struck Kennedy's head. It was analyzed by the House Select Committee on Assassinations, but no evidence of hidden figures was found. Photographic experts say the image lacks the resolution to determine whether or not the Badge Man is a human figure. He is not present in any other pictures and was not seen by any witnesses. Author and former Los Angeles Deputy District Attorney Vincent Bugliosi said that no, the Badge Man does not exist. He argued that the man must have been unusually tall for his badge to be seen above the 5-foot tall fence, and that his eyes are not near the hypothetical scope of his sniper rifle, as would be expected. Researcher Dale Myers has argued that the measurements of the grassy knoll area require the alleged figure to have been in an impossible position to fire a weapon at the motorcade, saying, if the badgeman were truly a human being of average height and build, was located 32 feet behind the fence line and elevated 4.5 feet above the ground, an unreasonable and untenable firing position. He states that the retaining wall would have blocked the badgeman's bullet. Myers has proposed that the badgeman is merely sunlight reflecting off a glass bottle. A Coca-Cola bottle is visible in photos resting on a pergola wall near the badgeman area. Three men are photographed under police escort near the Texas Schoolbook Depository, just after the president is shot. The Dallas Police Department identified the men as local transients, having been taken off a boxcar in the railroad yards right after the assassination. The police described them as unemployed and passing through Dallas, then released them 4 days later. When tracked down for an interview in 1992, one of the men, Harold Doyle, said he and his friends spent the night before the assassination in a homeless shelter, where they showered and ate before heading back to the rail yard. They appear to be clean-shaven and well-dressed in the photo, fueling speculation that they were not, in fact, transients. Over the years, the identities of the men have ranged from Watergate burglars E. Howard Hunt and Frank Sturgis to contract killer Charles Howelson. In a 1991 Newsweek article about Oliver Stone's upcoming movie JFK, a man named Chauncey Holt said that he was one of 3 CIA operatives photographed as the Tramps, and that he was with Howelson in Dealey Plaza on the day of the assassination. This was also proposed in a 1992 book called The Men on the Grassy Knoll, which claimed Howelson, Holt, and a man named Charles Rogers were indeed the 3 Tramps, with Howelson and Rogers the sharpshooters on the grassy knoll, assisted by Holt. The assassination of John F. Kennedy was a dark day in American history. Could this really have been the work of one man? The presence of so many mysterious characters in Dallas and the controversy surrounding their identity ensures that theories will continue to be discussed for many years to come.